Hi guys, welcome back to today's class. So today is day 7 of the Kids Coding Bootcamp, all right? And today is all about poster design. Okay, so you're going to be learning how to design a poster and then how to remove backgrounds, all right? How we can remove backgrounds, all right, from our pictures. So what is a poster? A poster is a printed or digital design used to share a message, advertise an event, or give information. All right. So posters are printed or digital designs that we use to share, message, advertise an event, or give an information. You often see posters for school events, concert, movie promotion, community announcement, etc. Okay. There are different purposes of posters, all right? And the first one is to catch attention quickly. Okay, so we use one of the purposes of posters is to help catch attention quickly. Okay, because instead of everything just being in a blank paper, all right, we do colorful designs, all right, the different types of fonts, and the images. It helps catch people's attention easily. The next one is to deliver important information. With posters, we can deliver important informations. Example, like now we have a flyer here that talks about Children's Day First. Okay, so it is an information that we are trying to pass to the public. All right, so that's one of the purpose of a poster. Be visually appealing, so people want to read it. All right, so poster helps people want to read it. Like example, now we have this. All right, is advertising a brand. All right, is advertising a company. All right, but with this, okay, people would want to look at this design and know what it's saying or what it's talking about. So to help our design look good and make sense, we follow certain basic rules called design principles. Okay, so now let's look at what makes a good poster. All right, what makes a good poster? The first one is balance. So balance keep things even. All right, don't put everything on one side. So one of the things that makes a good poster is balance. All right, whenever you are designing, you make sure that everything is well balanced. All right, you don't keep everything on a particular side. You balance it very well. Example, now we have this two posters. Okay, so if you look at this, you see that this lacks balance. All right, unlike this lack balance. Unlike this, everything here is well balanced. Okay, so the second one is contrast. So you use light versus dark or big versus small to make things stand out. All right, so this contrast now, like let me say now in color. Okay, use dark versus light. So if you're using a dark background, all right, your text should be light colored. Okay, so that it is more visible. So now if we look at this, all right, you will see that this, all right, is a dark background and the text written here, okay, is also a dark colored background. So it is less visible. We can hardly see it. Unlike this one, a dark background and then a light colored text. So in for contrast, we use light color versus dark color, okay, or small versus big to make things stand out. Okay, now let's look at this design. Okay, here now, all right, you can see that there is no contrast, there is no good contrast. Okay, look now, there is a text here, but I can hardly read it. Why? Because the background is a gradient background and then it's also a dark colored background. Okay, so the text here was written in a dark color, so I can hardly read what is written here. Unlike here now, okay, this is a light background that was used for this design. So if you look at the text, like the kids coding first now was written in a dark color. Okay, so making it easy for people to read. Okay, then the next one is alignment. Alignment is make sure things lines up properly. Okay, So in alignment, we have like left alignment, we have right alignment, we have center alignment. So this illustration here is talking about center alignment, okay? You see how everything is being aligned in the center and it looks clean, all right? Unlike this, let's look at it in a design. So if you look at this design right here, okay, you can see that this design has a center alignment design, all right? Look, everything here, for starting from the logo to the text, everything was centered in the, everything was put in the center, all right? Unlike this, if you look at this, you see that there is no alignment to this. Everything was just placed anywhere that they wanted it to be. So this has a bad alignment, while this has a good alignment. The next one is repetition. So you repeat colors, shapes, or styles to create harmony. So in your designs, all right, when you're designing, you repeat like colors, you repeat shapes, okay, to create that harmony. Like the illustration that we have here, you see green, blue, there's repetition, so it looks uniform. Unlike this doesn't look nice at all. Now, if we look at this, okay, there is no repetition here, all right, especially in the shapes that was used here. This design is a no. But then look at this one, all right? The shapes here was repeated, okay? The same thing with the shape, the same thing with the colors, all right, was also repeated, okay? So repetition is good while designing. The next one is white space. So you leave space between things, you don't crowd them, all right? For example, we have here now, if you look at this design now, you will see that this design right here has space, what we call white space, okay? Like after the happy new month, there is a space before the text, there is a space before this, so it looks nice. But then if you look at this, there is no space at all, okay? Look at where this one is placed, here, so there is no white space at all, okay? So that is all for poster. So because we are going to have to get an image and remove it, so let's look at image background remover in Photoshop, all right? So before we jump into poster design, we need a clean image. So sometimes when you take a picture, the background might be distracting or not fit the design you want. Okay, so Photoshop has special tools to help you remove that background so that you can place the image wherever you like. All right, so now let's look at why we remove a background. First, to make the subject stand out. That's the first one. Second one is to place it in a new scene. And the third one is to make design look cleaner and more professional. Okay, so this is like just the few reasons why we remove backgrounds. Okay, so tools in Photoshop for removing background. The first one is the magic eraser tool, which is this tool right here. All right, it has three. They have the eraser tool, background eraser tool, and magic eraser tool. I use this magic eraser tool a lot, but this magic eraser tool only works very well when the background color that you need to remove is a solid color. Okay, once it's a solid color like white or orange or black, once it's just a one color, then it goes perfectly okay. So click on the area and it will select everything with the same or similar color, perfect for plain or solid color background, like I said. So now for this type of background now, it works very well. So you just need to get your magic eraser tool and click on it once, and then that is it. Because it is a solid color, it all has one color. Okay. So the next one is lasso tool. All right. So the lasso tool, draw any shape around what you want to select. All right. Polygonal lasso tool is click point to point to create a straight edged selection. So basically how this one works is that you will, like for the polygonal, most of the time I use polygonal, all right? If I want to use lasso tool, I use polygonal. So this one, it helps me be in control all right, of the places that I'm clicking. So you just need you to be clicking on the edge or the particular place that you want to remove. So once you just keep on clicking it, after you're done, you just click on select and mask, and that's it. Okay. So here now, this one was used. This particular one is the magnetic laser tool. So you just click around the edges that you want to remove. So this particular background here will remove, and it will only be remaining this here, like we have here. The next one is the quick selection tool. Okay, so with the quick selection tool, all right, you to just select the subject for you. And once you select the subject for you, you can also if there's like a place that gives space, you can edit it yourself. All right. So refining your selection. So after using these tools, all right, you will see select and mask, all right, to smooth the edges, remove leftover background pixels, make hair of fur look natural. Okay, so this is like the select and mask part of it. Once you just click on, I think should be somewhere here, select subjects. Then here you just like touch a little bit of this and click OK, and then that is it for you. Okay, so now let's head into Photoshop. All right, and then we'll get a picture and remove it, and then we'll use that to make a birthday flyer. So let's head into Photoshop. So right now we are in Photoshop. Okay, so we'll first of all click on new file. Okay, then I'm going to use art and illustration poster. So this poster design, so I'll just click on create. So this is what I have. All right, this is my canvas. So first of all, let's get the image, okay, and remove the background before we start designing. So I'll click on file, place embedded, okay, to get my picture. So I want to use this particular picture right here. So I want to use this picture right here. So first of all, I want to convert this to a smart object. Okay, so I want to like increase it like this. So this is what I have. So now to do this, okay, is either you use this, click on the quick selection tool, and you click on select subject. It's taking a little bit of time. Okay, so you see it has selected the subjects for us. But I want to zoom this in. If you look at like this side now, see, so what I want to do is to take this inside a bit. So what I'm just doing is just like I'll just like click and hold, and then I'll now drag it inside a bit. Be careful when you are doing it, so that it doesn't go inside too much. So I think that's better. Okay, so for me, I think that's better. So what I'm going to do now is just to click on select and mask. So you see, so I just come here to come and make my changes. So first thing, if yours is not in black, you open this up and put it in black. Okay, then I'll come down, I'll come to smooth, and I'll just add it, let me say 3, come to fader 0.4, contrast 3, bring it down again, click on this contaminate color, and I'll click OK. So you see, so I've removed the background of this. So I think this picture is a little bit low. And it's not really that bright. So let's this is loading. I don't know why it's taking time to load. Okay, so now we have this. So what I'm going to do first of all is to off this. Okay, so now let's start designing our flyer. So our birthday flyer or poster. So let's import our background. So you have to know where your files are. So I'll use this. So so this is our background, okay? This is our background. So the next thing that I am going to do now that we have this, all right, is to add a shape. I'm going to add like a rectangle shape. So I'll just come here, or a square shape, which one ever. So I'll add the shape. So for the fill color, just get one of those color, okay. And then I'm going to add a stroke to this. So for the stroke color, I think I'll just use something like this. And then increase the stroke. Okay. So let's drop our two. This is what we have, all right? This is what we have. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use that our picture to create a clipping mask. So let me move it up. So you see, I moved my picture up. So the picture now is up, but then the rectangle is down. So I will right click. So I will right click and create clipping mask. So the picture now is now inside the shape. Okay. Let me lock this layer. All right, so move this a bit. Okay, so this is what we have. So the next thing now that I'm going to do now is to get this. I'll get this. So I need to bring this down a bit. So I think this is better now. So I also go and get the second one. So you can just, this is like a stroke brush. All right, so I'll get the balloon. So I'll get one balloon, I'll place it somewhere here. Accept this, then press Ctrl J to duplicate the balloon, and then place one somewhere here, and I'm going to rotate it just a bit like this. Something like this. So now let's type the name All right, the like happy birthday, and then this will serve as our place, our name holder. So I'm just going to come test I'll click and I'll type happy, enter birthday. Okay, I will increase the text and then what happened? Let me change the font. So I just use this font here, Foundry Font Pack. I'll use this. Okay, but then I need to, I don't know what happened with this, my text. And then the birthday. So let's change the text color to black. So the light space in between it is too much. So you see, now I have the happy birthday text here. Okay. I still think that the line space in between those is too much. This is better. Okay. So I'm making like the text a bit, just small. So I'll duplicate the text, Control J. bring it down. Blessing. So I will reduce the text. Okay. So this is just a very simple design. Just like that, we are done with it. Okay, so just yeah, this is what we have. So for your assignment, mini project, not to make anything for me, like make any poster for me, you need to get an image and then you remove the background. Okay, get an image, remove the background, and once you are done, you just need to make any poster of your choice. Okay, so I'll see you guys in our next class. Bye, guys.